The $105 wake-up call, imagine. Being 65 years old. Most people at this age are looking forward to resting. They want to sit in a rocking chair, play with their grandkids, and enjoy a peaceful life. But for Harlan Sanders, age 65 was a nightmare. He was completely broke. He looked at his mail and found a check from the government for only $105. That was all the money he had to live on. He wasn't just poor. He felt like a failure. He looked back at his life and saw a long list of jobs that didn't work out. He had been a farmer, a streetcar conductor, a railroad worker, and even an insurance salesman. He had been fired many times. He had a hot temper and often argued with his bosses. To most people, he was just a grumpy old man with no money and no future. But Sanders had one thing that no one could take away: a recipe for fried chicken and a spirit that refused to die. A childhood of hard work. To understand why he didn't quit, we have to look at his childhood. Life was never easy for him. When he was only 6 years old, his father passed away. His mother had to go to work in a factory to pay the bills. This meant little Harlan had to stay home and take care of his younger brother and sister. By the age of 7, he was already a master in the kitchen. He learned how to peel potatoes, bake bread, and fry meat. He didn't have a choice. If he didn't cook, his siblings wouldn't eat. This tough start gave him two things: great cooking skills and a thick skin. He learned early on that if you want something, you have to work for it yourself. The first taste of success. Fast forward to his 40s. Sanders was running a small gas station in Corbin, Kentucky. He noticed the travelers were often hungry and had nowhere to eat. So he started cooking for them in his own kitchen. He didn't even have a restaurant at first. People just ate at his dining table. His fried chicken was special. He used a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices in a pressure cooker to make the chicken fast and juicy. Word spread. People loved it. Even the governor of Kentucky was so impressed that he gave Sanders the honorary title of colonel. For a few years, it looked like he had finally made it. He opened a bigger restaurant and a motel. He was finally successful. The highway disaster. But then, disaster struck. A new big highway was built, and it redirected all the traffic away from his restaurant. Suddenly, the customers stopped coming. His business, which he had worked so hard to build, died overnight. He was forced to sell everything just to pay his debts. This is where most stories end. At 65, after losing your business and being left with only $105, most people would just sit down and cry. They would say, "I'm too old to start over." But the colonel didn't think like that. He believed in his chicken. He knew it was the best in the world. 1009 no's. The colonel decided to try something crazy. He packed a pressure cooker and some bags of his secret flour into his old beat-up car. He started driving across America. He went to different restaurants and told the owners, "I have a great chicken recipe. If you use it, you just give me a few cents for every chicken you sell." It was a brutal journey. He didn't have money for hotels, so he slept in the back seat of his car. He shaved in gas station bathrooms. Day after day, he walked into restaurants, and day after day, owners laughed at him. They looked at this old man in a white suit and thought he was out of his mind. "Who wants to pay for a chicken recipe?" they asked. "We already know how to fry chicken." He heard the word no over and over again. In fact, he was rejected 1009 times. Think about that number for a second. Can you imagine asking for help and being told no 1,000 times? Most of us would quit after 10 rejections. Some would quit after 5. But the Colonel didn't stop until he reached rejection number 1010, which finally turned into a yes. The birth of an empire. That one yes changed everything. A restaurant owner in Utah agreed to try the recipe. It became a huge hit. Soon, other restaurants wanted the Kentucky Fried Chicken secret. By 1964, when the Colonel was 74 years old, he had more than 600 franchise outlets selling his chicken. He had turned a $105 government check into a multi-million-dollar global empire. He became a world-famous icon. Even today, many years after he passed away, his face is on every KFC bucket in almost every country on earth. He proved that you are never too old to dream, and you are never too failed to try one more time. What is your excuse? The story of Colonel Sanders isn't just about chicken. It is about grit. It is about the fact that the world doesn't owe you anything, but it also can't stop you if you refuse to quit. Many people today say, I don't have enough money, or I'm too young, or I'm too old, or the economy is bad. The Colonel had all of those problems. He had no money, he was old, and he had lost his business.